Hello, seniors who are looking to graduate soon and apply for graduate programs. This is your grad school video for the week. It's just easier for me to do this than to try and get you all together for a meeting because it's almost impossible. So those of you who are getting together your information and working through school stuff, I'm going to go over a couple of things that you might be curious on. And then if I miss anything, please, or you have additional questions, just come and see me, okay? So hopefully this summer you all took the GRE or you're planning to take the GRE soon. If you are looking to go to grad school in the fall of 2020, your applications will be due between January 1st and February 1st, depending on where you're applying. If you're taking some time off and going in the winter of 21, then your process is just a little bit delayed. Those of you who are graduating in December and going on right away, you should have started that process already. A lot of your applications will be due this month or early October. Okay, so GRE scores, a lot of you have stopped in to see me. If you're in that average range, that's terrific. I wouldn't necessarily redo any of that stuff, especially if you have a strong GPA. If you didn't study, if you didn't prepare, and you don't think it's a fair representation, I would ponder taking it again. But I'm happy to talk to you about what that looks like. You're starting to open up CIDCAS, which is the portal for most schools for application. Minnesota has a completely different system, so make sure that you're aware of how to apply in that setting. Do your homework. Go to their websites. Make sure you've been on that ASHA EdFind webpage to make sure that you have all that information. You're going to need letters of recommendation. So hopefully you are thinking about who you want to ask. Most programs ask for 3, and you should have those from department folks. If you have a nanny, or you've worked in the psych department, or you've had whatever TA job somewhere, that would be a good 4th letter. But you should always have 3 from people in the department. This happens every year. We know it's coming. So don't feel like it's a big, huge burden for all of us because we just do it all the time. So make sure you're thinking about who you want to ask. When should you be asking? I would say, early to anytime in October is a good time. We've been in the groove for a little while in the month of September, and they know that it's coming. When you're getting ready to ask, you should either stop by their door if they have a moment, or if you want to make an appointment, you can. You don't have to. But asking them, would you be able to write me a positive letter of recommendation? And then they will either say yes or no, or they'll think about it. And if they would say no, hopefully they'll give you a reason why. But, they're never going to be jerks about it. You say, thank you so much. I will be back with my folder. But not right at that moment. So what you're going to do is that you're going to put together this folder. Your friend Maddie Sawinski has 3 of them right now, and they're all newer ones. So when Maddie brings them back to me, you can come and borrow them and check them out. These are the folders that you're going to give to the people that are doing letters of recommendation. Inside this folder, and then one for every person, inside the folder is going to be your, it could be a brief resume, sort of like your GRE score, your GPA, your in major grades, and maybe a little bit about some jobs that you've had. Or if you have a resume that you already use, you could certainly stick that in there. You should, in the packet, have your scores and your grades highlighted so staff know what they're talking about in terms of academics. You're going to have a brief blurb about why you want to go to grad school. It doesn't have to be your letter of intent, especially if you're applying here. That's odd and awkward. So a summary is fine. You're going to have a table of all of the schools that you're applying to, how the staff will be notified, whether that's an email through CIDCAS or an email through the U of M system, or another way that they're going to be notified to upload their letter of recommendation, and then the due date for the staff to have that in. And there's examples in all of the folders about what that looks like. Students can include a degree progress report or unofficial transcripts, or just a course history printout so folks can see your grades as a whole. Some people include a little thank you letter. You can certainly do that. Anytime after that, especially at the end of the semester, maybe before you leave for finals or after finals, sending a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card to staff, because they've taken time to write you a letter. So make sure that you follow up at that point with a thank you note. You do not need to buy them gifts. Students, I think, sometimes feel obligated to do that. You do not. If the spirit moves you and you feel like you have to, you can. You are not required to do that. So this letter or this folder then has to be assembled for each letter that you're sending, or person that's writing you a letter. And you should deliver that to them, or you can put that in their mailbox. You'll get notified when the letter is uploaded. Do not panic if it doesn't come right away. Staff get busy. You are certainly welcome to remind staff in December before you go. Thank you again for writing me a letter. Just a reminder that it's due January 1st. I appreciate your time, because you're leaving campus and sometimes we all get caught up in end of semester stuff. Okay? So there's that. Transcripts. You'll have to send transcripts to CIDCAS, and those have to be official. Do you need to send some now? You don't have to. You can wait until grades are posted at the end of the semester and then have those sent up for verification. If you've already hand entered in all of that stuff, what CIDCAS is going to do is that once they get your DPR, your transcripts in December, they'll start the process of validation and verification, okay? If you're paying for the service, then obviously they need those transcripts now. It would certainly be helpful to them. You will need transcripts from every place that you've ever had a college credit, even in high school. So make sure that you're doing that homework and finding out where those places are, and getting that information together. Megan Oselka is a Point grad. She is my graduate assistant this semester. She has short blonde hair and glasses. So I'm going to copy her on this email. So you have her email if you have questions about CIDCAS particularly. I've never done that. I didn't have to do it. I don't have access to that as an advisor. So Megan would have some advice or some tips for you if you have questions specifically on the CIDCAS portal. Again, making sure that if you have GRE scores that need to be resent or sent to different places, you'll have to budget for that. Transcripts are going to cost you money. And if you have questions about your grade point and your GRE scores and how many schools to apply, or you want somebody to look over your list of schools and talk you through it, I'm happy to do that as well. Because this is a horrible process. No one loves it. It's terrible. It's a necessary flaming hoop that we make you go through to get to the other side. But please make sure that you're budgeting time to get these applications completed, because they do take time, okay? And everyone is going through a little bit of stress this semester, so make sure we're supporting each other in this process. I think those are the highlights. Again, if you have nitty-gritty questions about CIDCAS or other stuff, you can either see me or email Megan, and she can help you as well. I do have a frequently asked questions document I'll attach as well to this email for CIDCAS. So start thinking about staff letters, and then, you know, when you ask them, you need to have really solidified your schools. Because if you deliver your folder and then you come back in a week and say, oh wait, I have more schools, it's just not a good look. Okay, so let's commit and get that list together, and we'll go from there. Okay, you can do this. Everybody will get you through it from now until the end. And again, just stop in if you have questions. Okay, all right, you guys got this. Hang in there.